The Vraxian admiral's flagship grew larger on the view screen. 15 seconds remained before the ship would self-destruct. Alex stood at the controls, his body now pulsing with the same energy as the dying vessel around him. The nanobots had spread throughout his system, changing him beyond what his creators had ever intended. Commander Zreet watched from the floor, his 4 eyes wide with fear. You cannot stop an entire fleet. You are just one being. One is enough, Alex replied. 10 seconds. The flagship began firing defensive weapons. Energy blasts hit Alex's ship, shaking it violently. But it kept its course, driven by Alex's will. He had become the ship now, feeling each hit as if it struck his own body. 5 seconds. The admiral's face appeared on the screen. A Vraxian with elaborate markings and a crown-like structure on its head. Impossible, the admiral said, recognizing what was happening too late. Alex smiled. Remember this. Remember Earth. 3, 2, 1. The ships collided in a massive explosion. The self-destruct sequence triggered at the moment of impact, multiplying the force. The admiral's flagship split apart, its reactor going critical in a chain reaction. Nearby ships were caught in the blast wave, breaking apart or spinning out of control. In the final microsecond before destruction, Alex felt his consciousness separate from his body. The nanobots, working to save their host, launched his mind into the ship's emergency transmission system. His last thought became a signal, shooting away from the explosion faster than light. 3 weeks later, on Earth, Lisa Parker stood at a military base in Nevada. Her eyes had a faint metallic sheen as she spoke to the assembled generals and scientists. The Vraxian invasion was stopped, but more will come. I have the knowledge we need to prepare. She touched her temple, where Alex's nanobots had integrated with her system. We need to restart Project Guardian. Jason Collins stood beside her, now wearing an Air Force uniform again. The escape pods landed safely. Over 100 aliens from different worlds are helping us understand the threat. But Lisa is our best resource. One general looked skeptical. You expect us to believe a janitor turned into some kind of super soldier and sacrificed himself to save Earth? Alex Mercer was never just a janitor, Lisa replied. Your own government created him, then feared him and tried to hide him away. Now we need more like him. Miles away, in a small town, the first of the escape pods had crashed in a cornfield. Local police had established a perimeter around the strange object. As night fell, a figure approached from the darkness. The police raised their weapons. Stop. Identify yourself. The figure stepped into the light, a man with ordinary features, but extraordinary eyes that gleamed with metallic light. My name is Alex Mercer, he said. Then he smiled slightly. Part of me, anyway. The transmission that had left the exploding ship had found a receiver, the nanobots Lisa carried. They had received the signal and begun building a new body, using her memories of Alex as a template. Not a complete copy, but enough to continue his mission. Back at the base, Lisa suddenly stopped mid-sentence during her briefing. She felt something, a presence in the network of nanobots within her. What's wrong? Jason asked. Lisa smiled, tears in her eyes. He's alive. Somehow he survived. A phone rang. The general answered it, his face growing pale as he listened. He looked at Lisa. There's someone at the crash site in Iowa. Claims his name is Alex Mercer. Lisa nodded. The nanobots were designed to preserve their host at all costs. They found a way. The general looked troubled. Is he dangerous? The reports say he destroyed an entire alien fleet. Only to those who threaten Earth, Lisa said. That's what he was made for. What we were both made for now. On the screen behind them, satellite images showed the wreckage of alien ships drifting in space, a reminder of what happened when someone targeted what they thought was a harmless human, not knowing he was a living weapon. And now, he had returned to continue his mission. Guardian of Earth. The ship shuddered as another explosion rocked the lower decks, 7 minutes remained before complete destruction. Alex worked at the control panels, fingers moving with inhuman speed. Commander Zreet and the remaining officers were secured in a corner, bound with cables Alex had torn from the walls. "You cannot succeed," Zreet said. "The fleet admiral will detect our approach and move the ships." "Not if they can't see you coming," Alex replied. He had accessed the ship's stealth systems, originally designed to hide from Earth's detection. Now he was using them to hide from the Vraxian fleet. More memories surfaced in Alex's mind. He remembered his creation now, how he had been chosen from Special Forces soldiers for Project Guardian, how they had rebuilt him, molecule by molecule. The pain of the nanobot integration, the years of training. Then came the memory of why they had shut down the program. Alex had become too powerful, too independent. They feared what they had created, so they had erased his memories, suppressed the nanobots, and given him a new identity, a simple life as a janitor, until the Vraxians had taken him and awakened everything. A new alarm sounded. On the screen, Alex could see a massive ship at the center of the invasion fleet, the Admiral's flagship. "They've detected us," he muttered. The countdown reached 5 minutes. Alex made a decision. He moved to a different control panel and placed both hands on it. The nanobots flowed from his fingertips, deeper into the ship's systems than before. "What are you doing now?" Zreet demanded. "Taking control," Alex answered. His eyes closed in concentration. Complete control. Throughout the ship, systems began responding directly to Alex's thoughts. The nanobots spread through crucial circuits, becoming one with the vessel. Alex could feel the engines, the weapons, every door and corridor. The ship was becoming an extension of himself. 4 minutes remained. Meanwhile, Lisa and Jason had reached the escape pod level. Dozens of freed prisoners crowded the corridors, looking for ways off the dying ship. "This way," Jason called, leading them to the remaining pods. Each could hold 10 people. They worked quickly, filling pod after pod and launching them toward Earth. "What about Alex?" Lisa asked as they prepared the last pod. Jason looked grim. He made his choice. Lisa shook her head. "I'm going back for him." "There's no time." "Then leave without me." She turned and ran back toward the transport tube. On the command deck, Alex had finished integrating with the ship. He opened his eyes, which now glowed with the same color as the ship's control panels. He could see through the ship's external sensors, feel the heat of approaching destruction in its core. 3 minutes. The fleet had begun to scatter, but too late. Alex pushed the engines beyond their limits, accelerating toward the Admiral's flagship. He activated the weapons systems, firing at any ships that moved into range. The door to the command deck slid open. Lisa ran in, breathless. "Alex, we have to go." He turned to her, surprised. "Lisa, why did you come back?" "I couldn't leave you," she said, "not after everything you've done for us." Alex looked at the countdown. 2 minutes. "It's too late. I've merged with the ship systems. I have to guide it all the way in." "There must be another way." Alex hesitated. Then a new idea formed. "Maybe there is." He moved to Lisa and took her hand. "The escape pods are too far now. But there's an emergency capsule behind the command chair. 1 person only." "I'm not leaving without you," she insisted. "You won't have to." Alex placed his hand on her forehead. "The nanobots can transfer." Lisa's eyes widened. "What?" "A part of me. The knowledge, the mission. I can transfer some nanobots to you. Enough to warn Earth, to help them prepare." His voice was urgent. "It's the only way." Lisa stared at him. "Will it hurt?" "Yes." Alex didn't lie. "But you'll survive, and you'll carry what's needed to save Earth." 1 minute remained. "Do it," Lisa said. Alex closed his eyes. From his fingertips, a silver flow of microscopic machines passed into Lisa's skin. She gasped in pain but didn't pull away. The transfer took 30 seconds. When it was done, Lisa's eyes had a faint metallic sheen. "Get to the capsule," Alex said. "The coordinates are set." And Lisa, "Thank you." She touched his face once, then ran to the emergency capsule. The door sealed behind her, and with a hiss of air, it ejected from the ship. Alex turned back to the controls. 30 seconds remained. The Admiral's flagship filled the view screen. "For Earth," he whispered. Alex, Lisa, and Jason raced through the corridors of Level 1. Red lights flashed everywhere. A computerized voice spoke in the Vraxian language, counting down. "How long do we have?" Lisa asked, struggling to keep up with Alex's pace. 15 minutes, Alex replied. His mind was translating the alien language automatically now. The nanobots were changing him with each passing minute, unlocking more abilities, more knowledge. They turned a corner and faced a sealed door. The symbols glowed bright red. "Command deck," Alex said. "Sealed for emergency." Jason raised his weapon. "Can we blast through it?" Alex shook his head. "No, but there's another way." He placed both hands on the smooth metal surface. "Stand back." Lisa and Jason moved away. Alex closed his eyes, concentrating. The nanobots in his body flowed to his hands, creating microscopic connections with the ship's systems. In his mind, he could see the door's locking mechanism, complex and secure, but not secure enough. With a heavy grinding sound, the door began to slide open, fighting against its own security protocols. Alex's muscles strained, veins standing out on his forehead as he forced the massive door apart. "Hurry," he said through gritted teeth. They slipped through the gap. The command deck was a large circular room with screens showing different parts of the ship. In the center stood Commander Zreet, surrounded by officers. The commander turned, his 4 eyes widening at the sight of the intruders. "How did you?" He reached for a weapon. Alex moved first. In an instant, he crossed the room and knocked the weapon away. The other officers backed up, some drawing their own weapons. "Stop the self-destruct," Alex demanded. Commander Zreet made the grinding sound that passed for Vraxian laughter. "Too late, human. This ship is lost. But our fleet will still reach Earth. Your world will be ours." Alex lifted the alien commander by his elaborate collar. "I said, stop it." "I cannot. The sequence is locked." Zreet seemed unafraid despite his position. "You have doomed yourself and all aboard." Lisa had moved to one of the control panels. "Alex, look at this." On a screen, they could see dozens of small ships leaving the larger vessel. "Escape pods," Jason said. "The crew is abandoning ship." "And look at this." Lisa pointed to another screen showing a star map. "The invasion fleet. There are hundreds of ships." Alex dropped Commander Zreet and moved to the panel. He placed his hands on it, connecting to the ship's systems again. Information flowed into his mind. Ship schematics, fleet positions, weapons capabilities. "We need to warn Earth," Jason said. "We need to do more than warn them," Alex replied. "We need to stop this fleet." Commander Zreet laughed again. "Impossible. You are just one human." Alex turned to the alien, his eyes glowing with inner light. "I am Project Guardian. I was created to defend Earth from threats like you." The countdown continued. 10 minutes remained. "We need to get to an escape pod," Lisa urged. Alex shook his head. "You two go. Take as many prisoners as you can find. I'm staying." "That's suicide," Jason protested. "I have a plan," Alex said. He moved to the ship's main control station and connected with it. His hands flew over the alien symbols with perfect understanding. "This ship has weapons. Powerful ones." Commander Zreet watched with growing alarm. "What are you doing?" "Changing course," Alex answered. "Setting a new target." On the main screen, the star map shifted. The doomed ship's trajectory was now aimed directly at the heart of the invasion fleet. "You cannot." Zreet lunged at Alex, but was easily pushed away. "Jason, take Lisa and the others to the escape pods on level 3. Alex ordered without looking away from the controls. I need to make sure this ship stays on course until it's too late for the fleet to react. Come with us, Lisa pleaded. Alex finally turned to her. His face was calm, resolute. I was built for this, to protect Earth, no matter the cost. Jason put his hand on Lisa's shoulder. We have to go. Now. As they turned to leave, Alex called after them. The coordinates for Earth are already programmed into the escape pods. You'll make it home. Lisa looked back one last time. Alex stood tall among the alien technology, no longer pretending to be just a janitor. He was a guardian, a protector, a living weapon. The hallway filled with alarms. Red lights flashed as Alex stepped over the fallen guards. Dr. Krell backed away, fumbling with a communication device. Security breach. The human is loose. Send all available. Alex moved faster than the eye could follow. He knocked the device from the doctor's hand and grabbed the alien by the throat. Open the other cells, Alex ordered. Now. Dr. Krell's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. I cannot. Only Commander Zreet has that authority. Where is he? Command deck. Level 1. Alex nodded and released the doctor. Thank you for your help. He struck the alien with precise force, just enough to knock it unconscious. Inside the cell, Lisa and Jason watched in amazement. Alex returned to the door and examined the lock. His enhanced vision could see the electrical circuits inside. He placed his hand on the panel and concentrated. The nanobots in his fingertips extended, invisible to normal sight, and connected with the alien technology. The door slid open. How did you do that? Jason asked as they stepped into the hallway. The nanobots in my body can interface with technology, Alex explained. I'm remembering more about my capabilities. He handed Jason the guard's weapon. Can you use this? Jason examined it. I think so. Point and shoot, right? Alex nodded. Lisa, stay between us. We need to free the other prisoners and find Commander Zreet. They moved through the corridors, Alex leading the way. His senses were superhuman now. He could hear guard movements through walls, sense energy fields before they appeared. When 3 Vraxian guards rounded a corner, Alex didn't even slow down. He disarmed them with fluid movements and left them unconscious on the floor. You move like a ghost, Lisa whispered. Alex freed prisoners from 2 more cells. Some joined them, others fled in different directions, creating chaos throughout the ship. Emergency lights continued to flash. Commander Zreet's voice echoed through the ship's communication system. All security forces to detention level. Capture the human specimen alive. Kill the others if necessary. They really want you, Jason said. They're afraid of me. Alex replied, as they should be. They reached a large doorway marked with Vraxian symbols. Alex placed his hand on it, connecting to the locking mechanism. This is a transport tube. It can take us to the command deck. The door opened to reveal a cylindrical chamber. The group entered, and the door sealed behind them. They felt a brief sense of movement before the opposite door opened onto a new corridor. This is level 2, Alex said. 1 more level up to reach the bridge. As they stepped out, a squad of heavily armed guards was waiting. These wore more advanced armor and carried larger weapons. Elite guards, Lisa gasped. Alex pushed Lisa and Jason back into the transport tube. Stay here. There are too many, Jason protested. Alex's eyes glowed with metallic light. No, there aren't. He stepped forward to face the squad. The guards opened fire simultaneously. Energy blasts hit Alex from all directions. His skin burned, clothes tearing. But he kept walking. The nanobots repaired damage as quickly as it happened. His muscles grew more dense, his reflexes faster. The guards backed away in fear as the supposedly harmless human continued advancing despite their weapons. What are you? The lead guard demanded. Alex smiled. It wasn't a friendly expression. "I'm what your people were looking for." He moved suddenly, becoming a blur of motion. A weapon. In less than 30 seconds, all the guards lay unconscious. Alex stood in the center, barely breathing hard. His clothes were burned and torn, but his body was unmarked. He turned back to the transport tube where Lisa and Jason watched in awe. "It's safe now," he said. Lisa stepped out cautiously. "Alex, you're not human anymore." Alex looked at his hands. They appeared normal, but he could feel the power flowing through them. "I am human," he said quietly, "just not the kind they were expecting to find." A new alarm sounded, different from the others. "What's that?" Jason asked. "Ship-wide alert," Alex answered, knowledge flowing into his mind. "Commander's Reek knows he can't stop me. He's preparing the ship to self-destruct." Alex stared at the ceiling of the lab as more memories flooded back. Each new test by Dr. Krell broke down more walls in his mind. He remembered now, not everything, but enough. He was not just Alex Mercer, janitor. He was Project Guardian, a human weapon created in a secret government program. His body contained billions of advanced nanobots that could enhance his strength, speed, and healing. They had been dormant for years, his memories suppressed, his abilities hidden away. Until now. Dr. Krell increased the power on a machine connected to Alex. Pain surged through him again. The doctor watched a screen showing Alex's cells reacting, changing. "Fascinating," Dr. Krell said. "Your body rebuilds itself, adapts to damage. Each test makes you stronger instead of weaker." Alex said nothing, but he felt it happening. The nanobots in his blood were fully awake now, repairing tissue, strengthening muscle, sharpening his senses. Every painful test was actually helping him recover what he once was. "Tomorrow," Dr. Krell told an assistant, "we will open him up, study his organs while he lives, learn his secrets." The assistant looked nervous, but Commander's Reed said, "I have permission," Dr. Krell snapped. "This specimen is too valuable. The Fleet Admiral will want this technology before we reach Earth." Earth. The word triggered something else in Alex's memories. He had been created to protect Earth. That was his purpose. Now these aliens were heading there with invasion plans. The guards returned Alex to the cell that night. He walked differently now, more balanced, more aware. Lisa noticed immediately. "Alex, are you okay?" she asked when the guards left. Alex sat down slowly. "I'm remembering things about who I really am." Jason moved closer. "What are you talking about?" Alex looked at his hands. They seemed normal, but he could feel the power in them now. "I wasn't always a janitor. I was something else. Something created, not born." "Created?" Lisa whispered. Alex nodded. "A military project. They called me Guardian. I was designed to be a weapon." "A weapon against what?" Jason asked. "Threats to Earth." Alex looked up. "Like these aliens." Lisa showed Alex the data tablet they had stolen. "They're heading to Earth with an invasion fleet. We have to warn someone." Alex studied the alien charts. Somehow, he could understand them now. The nanobots were changing his brain too. 5 days until they reach Earth orbit, but they have scout ships that will arrive sooner. "Can we use the communication systems?" Jason asked. "Maybe," Alex said. "But first, we need to get out of this cell." "How?" Lisa asked. "The guards are always watching." Alex stood up and walked to the cell wall. He pressed his palm against the metal. "They're coming for me tomorrow. For surgery." His voice was calm. "I won't let that happen." That night, Alex didn't sleep. He sat in meditation, something he now remembered from his training. The nanobots worked through his body, repairing and enhancing. By morning, he was changed. When the guards came, they noticed something different about him. They raised their weapons nervously. Dr. Krell stood behind them. "Prepare him for surgery," the doctor ordered. As a guard reached for him, Alex moved. This time, he wasn't holding back. His hand closed around the guard's wrist with crushing force. Bones snapped. Before the alien could scream, Alex had taken its weapon. The second guard fired. The energy blast hit Alex in the chest. It burned, but the nanobots were already repairing the damage. He didn't fall. Dr. Krell backed away, eyes wide with fear. "What are you?" Alex stepped forward, the stolen weapon held loosely in his hand. His eyes had a metallic shine now, and his voice was different, deeper, more confident. "I am Project Guardian," he said, "and you made a mistake bringing me on your ship." 3 days passed on the Vraxian ship. Alex was returned to the cell each night, his body covered in small cuts and needle marks. Each morning, the guards came back for him. He never resisted, never complained. "How are you even standing?" Jason asked on the 3rd night. His own body was bruised from a failed escape attempt. Alex shrugged. "The tests aren't so bad." Lisa moved closer to examine Alex's arm. The cuts from yesterday were already healing. "That's not normal," she whispered. "Cuts like these should take days to heal." Alex pulled his arm away. "I've always healed fast." That night, while the other prisoners slept, Alex stayed awake. Something was changing inside him. His vision seemed sharper. He could hear the guards breathing outside the door. His muscles felt tight, like they were waiting for something. In the morning, when the guards came, they took Lisa instead of Alex. "No," Jason shouted, lunging forward. A guard slammed him against the wall. The other prisoners backed away. The guard raised his rod to strike Jason. Alex moved. This time, everyone saw it. One moment Alex was across the room. The next he stood beside the guard. His hand gripped the rod. The metal bent under his fingers. "No," Alex said quietly. The guard stared at his bent weapon, then at Alex. It made a high-pitched alarm call. 3 more guards rushed in. Alex released the rod and stepped back, raising his hands. But everyone had seen what happened. Commander Zreet appeared at the door. All 4 eyes narrowed. "Take him," Zreet ordered. "Maximum security lab. Tell Dr. Krell. Special protocols." The guards approached Alex cautiously, weapons ready. He went with them peacefully, but not before looking at Lisa. "Stay strong," he said. They took him to a new lab, larger than before. Dr. Krell waited with several assistants and new equipment. "Strap him with the reinforced restraints," Dr. Krell ordered. The human shows unusual attributes. Alex was secured to a metal table. This time, the restraints were thicker, made of a dark metal that seemed to pulse with energy. "What are you?" Dr. Krell asked, leaning over Alex. "Your cells are changing, adapting. No normal human does this." Alex said nothing. Dr. Krell injected him with a blue liquid. Pain shot through Alex's body, worse than anything before. He gritted his teeth but didn't scream. Pain response minimal, Dr. Krell noted. Increased to level 4. More injections, more pain. Alex's vision blurred. In his mind, walls were breaking down. He saw flashes of memories, a secret facility underground. Men in military uniforms watching him lift impossible weights. Scientists injecting him with silver liquid that burned like fire. Subject, one scientist said in the memory, displaying remarkable integration with the nanobots. Project Guardian is progressing beyond expectations. Alex gasped as the memory faded. His body was burning from inside. The restraints suddenly felt less secure. Meanwhile, Lisa and Jason huddled in a corner of the cell. "He's not human," Jason whispered. "Did you see how fast he moved? How strong he was?" Lisa shook her head. "He's human. Just different somehow." "I need to show you something," Jason said. He pulled her to the cell door. The guards had left a data tablet outside, forgotten in the chaos. Jason reached through the bars and managed to grab it. "You can read this?" Lisa asked, looking at the alien symbols. "Not really, but I recognize some patterns from pilot training." Universal navigation symbols. Jason tapped the screen. This ship is part of a fleet. And look at these coordinates. Lisa's face paled as she recognized the patterns. That's our solar system. They're headed to Earth, Jason confirmed, with a whole invasion fleet. In the special lab, Dr. Krell watched in fascination as Alex's vital signs changed. His heart rate increased. His brain activity spiked in patterns the doctor had never seen. What is happening? Dr. Krell wondered. Inside Alex's body, billions of nanobots were awakening, responding to the threat. Inside his mind, the barriers holding back his true identity were crumbling. Alex opened his eyes. They now had a strange metallic gleam. Project Guardian, he whispered. I remember. The Vraxian ship hummed with strange energy. Alex sat with his back against the wall, watching everything. He counted 14 different alien species in their holding cell. Some had scales, others fur. A few glowed faintly in the dim light. Most cowered or cried. Only Alex remained calm. Lisa Parker sat beside him. Her hands shook, but her voice was steady. I was at a dig site in Arizona, she whispered. Archaeology. 1 minute I'm brushing dust off pottery. The next I'm here. Across the cell, a man with military posture paced back and forth. His dark skin was covered in sweat, but his eyes were alert and focused. He noticed Alex watching and came over. Jason Collins, he said, offering his hand. Air Force pilot. Or I was, until these things grabbed me during a training flight. Alex shook his hand. Alex Mercer, janitor. Jason raised an eyebrow. You seem pretty calm for a janitor. Panic won't help us, Alex replied simply. A loud hiss interrupted them as the cell door slid open. 2 Vraxians entered, holding long metal rods that crackled with energy. Behind them stood a taller alien wearing an elaborate collar. That's Commander Zreet, whispered a small furry creature near them in broken English. He watches. He chooses who goes to testing. Commander Zreet pointed at 3 prisoners. A reptilian being, a creature made of what looked like living crystal, and Jason. The guards moved forward. Jason backed up. I'm not going anywhere. The guards raised their rods. Alex watched, his eyes tracking their movements with unnatural precision. Something in his mind was calculating distances, angles, weak points in the guard's armor. The reptilian and crystal beings were taken without fight. When the guards reached for Jason, he swung at one. The Vraxian easily dodged and jabbed its rod into Jason's side. Blue energy crackled, and Jason fell to his knees, gasping. Lisa cried out and rushed forward. The second guard turned to her, rod raised. Alex moved. Later, Lisa couldn't explain exactly what happened. One moment Alex was sitting. The next he stood between her and the guard, holding the alien's wrist. He hadn't struck the guard or fought. He had simply moved fast enough to catch its arm before the rod touched Lisa. The guard chittered in surprise. Commander Zreet stepped forward, all 4 eyes focusing on Alex. He said something in the clicking Vraxian language. Alex released the guard and stepped back. The guard looked at its wrist, where Alex's fingers had gripped. Even through the armor, there were slight indentations. Commander Zreet made a sound like grinding metal, perhaps a laugh. He pointed at Alex. This one instead, he said in rough English. The guards took Jason back to the cell floor and grabbed Alex instead. He went without resistance, his face revealing nothing. Alex, Lisa called out as the door closed. Hours passed. Jason recovered slowly, his breathing ragged. That guy, he said to Lisa, he's not just a janitor. Lisa nodded. I know. Military maybe. Special forces. I don't know, Lisa said. But did you see how fast he moved? In another part of the ship, Alex lay strapped to a cold metal table. A thin Vraxian with cybernetic implants around its eyes studied a display showing Alex's vital signs. Unusual readings, Dr. Krell, said an assistant. Heart rate normal. No stress hormones. Dr. Krell leaned closer to Alex. Most interesting. Most humans show fear. Alex looked directly into the alien's four eyes. Should I be afraid? The doctor made the grinding metal sound. Yes, yes you should. It held up a device with a long needle. We will see what you are made of, human. As the needle pierced his skin, Alex closed his eyes. Deep inside his body, something awakened. Microscopic machines, long dormant in his bloodstream, began to stir. In his mind, locked memories flickered. A laboratory, scientists in white coats, injections that burned like fire. Subject shows remarkable tolerance to pain, Dr. Krell noted, increasing the intensity of the tests. Alex remained silent, but in his veins, nanobots began to multiply, responding to the threat. His body was remembering what his mind had forgotten. Alex Mercer wiped sweat from his forehead as he mopped the long hallway of the Lakeside Research Facility. The night shift was almost over. 5 years he had worked here as a janitor, and not once had he complained about the late hours or the low pay. His coworkers thought he was just a simple man who liked routine. They were wrong. The facility quieted down after midnight. Scientists went home. Security guards dozed at their posts. Alex liked this peaceful time. He finished cleaning the east wing and moved to the west, humming softly to himself. His mop made wet circles on the floor as he worked with practiced efficiency. "Good night, Alex," called Gary, the night guard, as he passed by on his rounds. "Night, Gary. Drive safe." Alex replied with a small smile. He watched the guard's reflection in the polished floor as he walked away. Alex had memorized the routines of everyone in the building. It was a habit he couldn't break, though he didn't know why he had it. At 3 a.m., Alex clocked out. The cool Nebraska air felt good on his skin as he began his walk home. He lived just 2 miles away in a small apartment. The night sky was clear, stars shining brightly above the cornfields that surrounded the research complex. Alex looked up, admiring the vastness of space. Something moved among the stars, a light that shifted unnaturally. Alex stopped walking and narrowed his eyes. Most people would have dismissed it, but Alex felt a strange sense of recognition. The light grew bigger, brighter. "That's not a plane," he muttered to himself, his heart beating faster for reasons he didn't understand. The light suddenly expanded, casting a blue-green glow over the empty road. Alex didn't run. Some deep instinct told him it wouldn't matter if he did. Instead, he stood perfectly still, watching as the beam descended toward him. The light enveloped him completely. Alex felt weightless, his feet lifting off the ground. There was no pain, just a strange tingling sensation through his body. As he rose into the air, brief flashes of memory surfaced. Memories that couldn't be his. A sterile room. Needles. Men in military uniforms watching him through glass. The memories vanished as quickly as they had appeared. Alex found himself in a metallic chamber. The walls gleamed with an oily rainbow sheen that no human technology could produce. Strange symbols pulsed with light along curved panels. The air smelled wrong, too clean, with a hint of something like cinnamon and copper. 3 figures entered the chamber. They walked on 2 legs, but were clearly not human. Tall and thin, with gray-blue skin stretched tight over angular frames, they had oversized heads with 4 black eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Their mouths were small and lipless. They wore fitted garments that seemed to shift colors with their movements. One approached Alex, examining him without speaking. Long fingers with an extra joint reached out, touching his arm. Alex remained still, his face betraying nothing of the calculations running through his mind. He was assessing the room, the beings, possible exits, potential weapons. Human male. Physical condition adequate. Minimal muscle development. No visible augmentations, one of the aliens said in a clicking, buzzing language that somehow Alex could understand. Subject displays unusual calm. Recommended for basic labor and stress response testing. Confirmed. another replied. Transport to holding with the others. A device was pressed against Alex's neck. Cold spread through his veins. As darkness closed in, Alex's last conscious thought was oddly clear. This has happened before. Hours later, Alex awakened in a cell. 20 or so creatures of different species huddled in corners, some crying, others silent with shock. Across from him, a human woman with short brown hair watched him carefully. "They got you too," she whispered. "I'm Lisa Parker." Alex nodded slightly. "Alex Mercer," he replied, his voice perfectly steady. "Where are we?" "On their ship, headed somewhere out in space," Lisa said, fear evident in her voice. "These things, the others call them Braxians. They collect specimens. That's what we are now." Alex looked at his hands. They were steady, no tremor, no fear. "Not for long," he said quietly.